This mother talks about him wearing a suit. I hate this fucking country.
So it has came to pass. You've got Jamie Raskin, the most reliable and honest politician, and also looks a lot like that dude from the Bruce Springsteen band guy that played guitar. Was that little Stevens when he had his stupid little bandanas? I was like, is that little Stevens and twin brother? Anyways, Jamie Raskin is, by the way, Bruce Springsteen trying to be a really terrible, awful lefty. Who would have saw that one coming with his moves? Gonna say that Trump used a racial slur when he said that Trump's calling Elizabeth Warren a Pocahontas. How dare him? Of course, being interviewed by a totally unbiased person who has equal thoughts about everybody. The guy that's interviewing him is totally not a capital R word as well. So enjoy.
A protest a day keeps the fascists away. I want to stay on this Democratic response for a quick moment. What does it say to the public when you have someone like Al Green step up in the way that he did, and you have 10 Democrats who vote in line of censure?
First of all, real quickly, okay, you got. He says a protest a day keeps the fascists away. You know, we've got a bunch of fascists in our government right now who are stealing our money, and it's not Elon Musk. And the 10 Democrats who voted with the Republicans to censure that dude actually have a soul. I hear you, Democrat. You 10 Democrats, you guys are you're about to you might get debanked by Citibank and stuff, man, or one of those banky people. But anyways, man, Jamie Raskin is going to tell us though. He's going to say, ooh, 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 ooh. And oh man, I'm going to give you my opinion here in just a minute, but let's roll into this a little bit more.
For that congressman, it does not seem like there is a coordinated response in terms of the actual pushback. And I'm just wondering what the takeaway should be in terms of Democratic messaging for the public.
Well, look, that's a fair criticism. We've stayed overwhelmingly unified through this, and I think it is a valid critique that we did not have one single strategic plan going into Donald Trump's address on that night, whether it was boycott.
So I'm supposed to just let this play, but I have a hard time just doing that because he said that we went into this with no strategic plan. None of us were, wearing special T-shirts. None of us coordinated with stupid little signs like you were trying to auction off a small child to Joe Biden. I mean, none of them. It was totally just a random thing that they all did that. And it was totally random that Al Green, by the way, who's making Al Green, that singer guy, now you could pick, when you search Al Green to look up a song like Me and Mrs. Jones, you get this stupid guy who looks like somebody crossed up an Arab with a goat. Anyways, man, and so that wasn't coordinated at all. You know good and well that they were like, okay, you, Al Green, you're gonna make a ruckus and you're going to be ejected. That gives the media talking points. You, Jasmine Crockett, you just sit there and look mean. Don't say anything right now. And she's like, yes, master. Anyways, but yeah, so Jamie Raskin said totally not a coordinated effort, which, once again, he's about to spew the insurrection lie, too. Get ready for this.
Walkout, sign waving, heckling interruption, which is what Marjorie Taylor Greene repeatedly did to Joe Biden. Of course, Biden dealt with that like a man and just responded to it. Donald Trump couldn't handle it because he doesn't have the verbal dexterity to respond, and so they had to have Al.
They're going to say that Biden was handled like a man. Biden didn't know he was even there. He didn't even know he was there. They are using a robot to make his signature so they can sign all the things, executive orders and clemencies and stuff. And of course, Trump did not have the linguistical dexterity. What? Okay.
Green removed. But the last person who used a cane like that in the House of Representatives was Preston Brooks, who went over and beat the daylights out of Senator Charles Sumner before the Civil War. And he wasn't even censured for what he did.
So are they saying we should have beat the crap out of Al Green with his cane? Snatched him for this guy. I talked about this earlier on my buddy's channel, but yeah, I thought about that. I was like, well, somebody just snatched his cane out and started whacking him over the head and be like, yeah, this is what Preston so-and-so did. And how did Jamie Raskin even know that? My buddy Dave brought that to my attention. He said, how would even Raskin know this unless he studied all these talking points so that he has something to say? But anyways.
Actually using a cane for violence as opposed just to get people's attention. And, you know, Al Green was making a very strong, valid, substantive point, which is there is no mandate to destroy Medicaid. And the vast majority of Democrats rejected the idea of censuring him. And really, if we were censuring anybody, it should have been Donald Trump, who I don't think had been back to our chamber since he incited a violent insurrection against us. And then he used his pulpit in order to call a sitting member of the United States Senate Pocahontas. So I think a racial and ethnic slur from the president was a far greater insult to the dignity and decorum of our chamber.
Well, me on the other hand, I'm ready for more racial slurs to be brought out on the Senate floor. If I was Donald Trump at this point, my next response would be calling Jamie Raskin a white honky cracker. And that would be pretty... And I'll look at Adam Schiff and be like, hey, you saltine crackling, you little honky turd. I would do that. I'd be like, you want to hear some racial slurs? How about that? Eat that. Pencil neck. Yeah, I would double down because Elizabeth Warren is anything but an Indian, and all Donald Trump was doing was pointing out the fact that Elizabeth Warren actually did something that degraded a certain demographic of people by trying to claim it so that she could use that as a way of trying to acquire a voter base or talking points in some kind of mainstream media thing. And Trump did not cause an insurrection. That was actually found legally. So that was Jamie Raskin reporting misinformation, disinformation, and lies. Honky cracker. Thank you very much. I'm out.